The story of the Ulster-Scots migration to New Zealand is a fascinating one. There were settlements to both the North and the South Islands. And as I journey through the country, I'm really looking forward to finding out so much more about that history. But of course, me being me, I'd want a wee rattle on the drum. And here in New Zealand, bagpiping is every bit as big as it is back home or in Scotland. I'm starting my journey here in the Bay of Plenty, and in particular, the town of Katikati. One of the things I can't help but notice as I drive through Katikati is the amount of murals. Now, of course, we're fond of the odd mural ourselves, but here, they like them a lot. In fact, they've got 50 of them, including right here on Main Street, mural number 20 of George Vesey Stewart, the founder of the Ulster settlement in Katikati in 1875. He was from Artray in County Tyrone, and it was back home in Ulster that he dreamt up the idea of a plantation of Ulster settlers in New Zealand. But it was okay having that vision and that dream. He had to go home and sell that to the people back home in Ulster. And he did that to people who had a sense of community already through the Orange Lodges and the Orange Order. George Vesey Stewart arranged for families from Ulster to be transported to New Zealand on 2 ships. The first being the Carisbrooke Castle in 1875, which was followed by the Lady Jocelyn 3 years later. The Lady Jocelyn sailed directly from Belfast on an arduous 88-day journey to Auckland. But the final destination was the Vesey Stewart settlement in Katikati, so the families were transferred by steamer here into the Bay of Plenty to start their new life on the land that he had purchased. John, you're a local man and very interested in the history of the area and the history of the Ulster settlers here. This is some spot you've brought me to.
It's lovely, isn't it? It really is a paradise, and you can imagine as they came in through the heads here into this harbour that they must have thought they really had reached the promised land, you know. The land that Vesey Stewart bought would run right along, if you follow the ridge line there, all the way down, and away in the distance there, 20 miles to the south, and 3 miles back from the points in the harbour, back to the foothills, was the first 10,000 acres that he would have bought for the first settlement. And then when the second ship came out, he negotiated the purchase of another 10,000 acres.
But if you journeyed for months from Belfast battling against the elements, I mean, looking at that, you really would have thought, I've bought my own little place in paradise.
It looks idyllic, but then it's worth remembering there was nothing here. There was a lot of fern and scrub to clear, and all they could see when they were first deposited here was a lot of hard work, years of hard work ahead of them. They had to build a house, they had to clear the land, they had to feed their families. They were in survival mode, really.
This is Maria Gallagher, born in Belfast in 1833, and when she married her husband James, they moved to Ramelton. This is Ramelton up here in Donegal, and we're part of the Ulster-Scots community there. And this mural is on the side of the number 2 school here in Katikati, the school in which Maria Gallagher was the very first teacher. She sailed here in the Lady Jocelyn ship in 1878, bringing with her 6 children. She left behind a 3-month-old baby to come here. And down this end is a tribute to one of her sons, who would become exceedingly famous, Dave Gallagher, the original captain of the All Blacks. And this is a picture of him with his original team, the Dave Gallagher Cup, the Dave Gallagher Shield, France, where he died in Passchendaele, in the First World War. Letterkenny RFC, where he was from. Maria and her side of the mural, the orange frame around her picture represents the Orange tradition, the Orange lodges, from which lots of the settlers were brought to Katikati. The Lady Jocelyn ship she sailed on, the Ulster flag. This mural just has tremendous resonance for me as an Ulster-Scot, standing here in the middle of New Zealand. The Ulster-Scots didn't arrive here in New Zealand to an uninhabited land. The Maoris were the original Polynesian settlers here in the Bay of Plenty. That's a fantastic welcome your Kapahaka group have just given me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Our Kapahaka group is a really strong group, a really proud group, and really shows the tradition of our Maori history. But it's great to have an Ulsterman like yourself here, and we're very much an Ulster plantation. And if you look at our school crest, it reflects the key things from the Irish settlers that came out from Ireland in about 1875. So first of all, at the top is the red hand of Ulster. The two ships that you see on the crest, the Cariswell Castle and the Lady Jocelyn, these brought out some of the founding families, the Stuarts, Macmillans, Gledstanes, those sorts of people.
The two green sections on your school badge.
The bottom left refers to the Ulster plantation, so it's the trees, and I suppose the founding fathers of our community really thought of this as a plantation, an Ulster community away from home. And then in the top right we have what is called the Sinister Chief. I suppose it looks at power, justice and righteous authority. So again, some of I suppose the core values at that time that led to the formation of this crest. There's been thousands of students that have gone through this school. Respect the others and remember your history around this. Not only our Ulster history, but our pre-European, our Maori history as well, that contributes to everything around here.
Well, that makes me, as an Ulsterman coming down here to New Zealand, very proud to know that you guys here are thinking of where the history came from, and maybe you're our brothers and cousins that we just hadn't met yet.